Charles Barkley said what? We're going to break it down on today's show. Before we do, though, if you want the New York Knicks to win the NBA Finals for the first time in 50-plus years, do your part and hit that thumbs up icon right now. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by as we react to what the good old Chuckster had to say about the New York Knicks. I think we all know that Charles Barkley is known as a New York Knicks hater, but he is taking it to lengths that make me question if he even knows what the hell he's talking about anymore. Charles Barkley released his list of top 50 players in the NBA season right now. The best 50 players in the NBA right now prior to the start of the 2024 NBA season, and I cannot believe what he did. He has Jalen Brunson ranked as the 26th best player in the NBA. Charles Barkley, I'm seriously asking you this question. Do you really think there are 25 people better at basketball than Jalen Brunson? Or are you just trying to bring some eyeballs to your list by dissing the best point guard in the East, the best small guard in the NBA, and using the New York Knicks for clicks? That's the only thing that makes sense. Because to think that there are 25 people on this earth that are better at the sport of basketball than Jalen Brunson, I have to question if you are able and in the right space of the mental to be able to talk about this league anymore. Let's talk about the players that he had ranked above him. Unfortunately, he only released his 20 to 50, or was it, 20 to 50 were the players that he had before him. And he had Tyrese Halliburton ranked above Jalen Brunson. And I understand that the Indiana Pacers won that series, but I think if anybody watched that series and watched the playoffs, it is clear who the better player is. He has Jimmy Butler ranked above Jalen Brunson. Jimmy Butler has not led his team to a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference for 2 straight years. They've been a play-in team. Kristaps Porzingis isn't even healthy. Kristaps Porzingis does not even play basketball. If Kristaps Porzingis was better than Jalen Brunson, the Knicks wouldn't have traded him, the Mavs wouldn't have traded him, and the Washington Wizards would not have traded him. He also probably would have at least got the Wizards to the play-in. But you know what? I guess that does not matter. Victor Wembanyama is better than Jalen Brunson. I think the San Antonio Spurs won 20 games last year. What are we doing? Is he going to be better than him down the line? Absolutely. But it's 2024. And then Domantas Sabonis. Domantas Sabonis is better than Jalen Brunson. There is not a single person working in a front office across the NBA that would take Tyrese Halliburton, Jimmy Butler, Kristaps Porzingis, and Domantas Sabonis over Jalen Brunson now and going into the future. Look, this may ruffle some feathers, and I've been feeling this way for a couple of times. Growing up as a kid, I thought all Inside NBA on TNT was awesome. And I love Ernie. I got a lot of love for Ernie. He is someone that I looked up to as an idol, someone that I thought was the best in the business. And I still do think Ernie is that guy. But when you have Shaquille O'Neal on the broadcast and he doesn't even know who half the players in the league are, and you have Charles Barkley uttering stuff like this, I just think that the rights to the NBA primetime game should go to a network that is more deserving. And Ernie does deserve that. But Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal no longer know how to talk about the NBA at a educational level because they are never right and they are always wrong. For context, ESPN, whether you think they're right, whether you think they're wrong, they at least have smart people working there. They're getting less smart people working there as they lost Zach Lowe and they've laid him off. The Ringer. Bill Simmons is very biased, but this is at least fair. Jalen Brunson was ranked 12th in the NBA by ESPN this week. The Ringer had him ranked as 12th as well. I can respect that. 26th? Oh, Charles. Just do it again, Jalen Brunson. And I don't think that you need any more motivation, and you're not really a guy that's motivated by external people and external factors and things like that, but just do it again. Just do it again. Find a way to get it done. Prove them wrong again. You did it when you first came to the New York Knicks. People said you were overpaid when you got paid $100 million over 4 seasons. it took 3 weeks of basketball to realize that you were underpaid. Just keep balling, man. Keep being the leader. Keep being the captain. Keep being the face of the New York Knicks organization. I mean, anybody that watched the playoffs last year knows how special Jalen Brunson was. The guy averaged 32.4 points per game this past postseason. He averaged 7.5 assists. He averaged 3.3 rebounds, and he shot 44% from the field. I mean, in 2023, he was still awesome. 28 points per game in the playoffs, 5.6 assists, 5 rebounds, 47+% from the field. Like, having Jalen Brunson outside of the top 15 of the best players in the world, like, you're allowed your opinion and you're allowed to voice it, but you're just wrong. Like, there is nothing you can point to from a statistical or any sort of metric-driven fact that Jalen Brunson is the 26th best player in the NBA. I just don't get it. I don't know if he's trying to be funny. I don't know what it is, but it's just wrong. It's just wrong. He's also wrong about OG Anunoby. I don't necessarily have a problem with where he has OG Anunoby ranked, but I'll give you a little bit of a teaser. He has Tyler Hero. Tyler freaking Hero, ranked above OG Anunoby. We'll break that down in a second. First, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Prize Picks. If you enjoy daily fantasy sports and you love winning money, Prize Picks is the place you need to be. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS, and Prize Picks will give you $50 for free when you play a $5 lineup. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and you simply pick more or less on their projected stat line. You win big money, you withdraw your winnings. I also love how Prize Picks gives you freebies all the time, like this one for the opening night of the basketball season. Anthony Edwards at half a point. Take the more, pair it with 2 other things, and you're going to make yourself some money. They've got some season-long lineups you can use as well, as you see Steph Curry and Luka Doncic. You can roll with my picks or fade my picks, but I kindly ask if you are going to play daily fantasy sports, you do it at Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS, and Prize Picks will give you $50 for free when you play a $5 lineup. Charles Barkley has OG Anunoby ranked as the 49th best player in the NBA, and I think it's somewhere in that range. I think anywhere from 35 to 50 is more than acceptable for OG Anunoby, and I don't mind him being 49th or 50th. But the people ahead of him, like, I don't know if people didn't watch basketball last year or they just can't fathom that a guy that averages 17 points per game isn't a top player in the league. And again, I don't mind him being 50th. ESPN had him at 51st, and The Ringer had him at 50. I would have him somewhere in the 35 to 42 range. I believe he's one of the most impactful players, and he affects winning more than a lot of players in the NBA. But when you talk about players that are better than OG Anunoby, people's names that should come to mind are guys like Jimmy Butler or John Morant or maybe Tyrese Maxey. But you're telling me that Isaiah Hartenstein is better than OG Anunoby? You're telling me Marcus Smart is better than OG Anunoby? Miles Turner? Tyler Hero? Derek White? Brandon Ingram? Aaron Gordon? And DeMar DeRozan. There is not a GM in the world that would take DeMar DeRozan over OG Anunoby for this season. So let's try to tell you why. I like to use advanced analytics because I think they just put more color in the picture. And if we're just going to judge everything off points, rebounds, and assists, we're not ever going to get anywhere. Plus, minus. How much do you affect the score when you're in the game? How much do you affect winning? OG's plus minus per 100 possessions with the New York Knicks was plus 22.4. Meaning, for every 100 possessions, while OG Anunoby was with the Knicks, he had the Knicks up by 22.4 points per game. The number one ranking over the entire 2023-2024 season was 13.4. OG Anunoby almost doubled up the league leader in plus minus per 100 possessions. How on earth can you not understand that this is one of the most impactful, most winning, and let's just call a spade, best players in the NBA? I tweeted out last night that, am I crazy if I believe OG Anunoby is the second best player on the Knicks? Because I do believe that. And I am tired of the OG Anunoby disrespect. When it comes to impact, when it comes to directly affecting the win column, I believe OG Anunoby is a top 20 impact player in the NBA. The New York Knicks were like 25-3 when Anunoby and Brunson played in the regular season last year. Fathom how crazy the stat is that per 100 possessions, he had his team up by 23 points every single time. The Knicks didn't lose minutes when OG Anunoby played. Look, the Knicks are just going to do it. They're going to shut people up this year. I know it's easy to throw darts at the New York Knicks. People now care about the Knicks. The NBA is back because of the New York Knicks. And this team is stacked. This team is unreal. There were two teams in the NBA via ESPN's rankings that had 6 players inside the top 100 players. It was the Boston Celtics, the NBA World Champions, and your New York Knicks. They are special, guys. They are very, very good. And I am glad that maybe not a lot of people that speak about this sport on platforms know that, because, man, the freezing cold takes and the things we're going to be able to do when we circle the block are going to be electric. ESPN has Cat as the 30th best player, Mikal Bridges at 38, OG at 51, Josh Hart at 61, and Mitchell Robinson at 82. You got a deep team. You got 6 players inside the top 83 in the world. And you got Deuce McBride, who's going to take a step this year. Presta Chua is going to be better. We've seen him look really good in the preseason. I cannot wait for the NBA season to start coming up in a couple of days. If you're ready, and this is the year you want to win an NBA Finals, hit that thumbs up icon and make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there. And Charles Barkley, read a book or something, man. Jesus.